Welcome back. Monday marks 1 year since an innocent man was gunned down on his own street. But this young man did not invite that violence in any way. He was driving down a street where an Airbnb party had gotten out of control. His family and friends will remember him on Monday. 11 Investigates Melissa Andrews here with more on this unsolved case. I remember this happening very clearly a year ago. It's just such a mystery when it occurred. It was a random thing. Bring us back to the killing and what happened.
And I think, it happened on a street, West Lincolnshire, which is over off Central Avenue by Costco, not a street that normally experiences anything like this. Basically what happened was that a neighbor had rented out her home as an Airbnb while she was out of town. And she thought that it was just going to be like a pool party, and it turned out to be a huge rager. And texts were coming in all night to the owner, and we verified those texts through some court documents that this party was getting out of control. Neighbors were complaining about it. In the meantime, 26-year-old Lepkowski and his fiance, Andrew Price, had decided, they lived on the street, we're going to go to Taco Bell. It's not something they normally did. It was later at night, around 10 o'clock. They did that, and as they came down the street, it was double parked. So they were having a hard time navigating the street. And then shots rang out, and just like you would see in a horror film, Lepkowski was shot in the head and he was killed. Again, I just want to emphasize this. Driving down his own street,
it's
not
senseless. Involved
in the party, had no role in any sort of wrongdoing, completely innocent person.
Now, what's happening with the investigation? I can't believe the police are letting this go. They must be working hard, but what can be uncovered after 12 months?
Well, the police are saying that they're still investigating, but they have nothing new to offer. Of course, they still want you to call Crime Stoppers if you have any tips, but this seems to be one of those cases where nobody's talking. We do know the woman's name that rented the house for the party. We know the woman who owns the home, and actually we looked up the woman who rented the house. She was previously involved in a shooting. So, there's never been a shooting on this street, but, people were invited into this neighborhood who were not from there. And it reminds me, obviously, of what happened in the Old West End recently.
I see
Innocent
nothing.
people caught in the crossfire by people should not have been there at that time.
And it's so hard to get people to give evidence and talk about someone they saw.
But I'm hoping, we know who the person is that rented the home. I know that there are some surveillance pictures, at least of some of the people that were there from the cameras that the owner of the home had installed.
So what kind of civil case could be filed here?
So there is a civil case pending against the owner of the Airbnb property. It is against Toledo City Code to rent a home as a short-term rental without registering it. So that's one issue. Also, parties are against Airbnb policy. The civil case is filed by Lepkowski's parents against the owner of the Airbnb and Airbnb. Specifically reading through some court documents again, in a deposition, you can see that the woman who owned the Airbnb admits that she knew there was a party, and that was against the rules. The neighbors were saying, this is escalating. People are parking on our yard. They're throwing chicken bones and whiskey bottles over our fence. Why didn't you call the police? Was the question posed by the attorney.
And was the event a celebration of some sort? Why was it even happening?
She thought that it was some sort of a graduation or pool party or something like that. And when you think about why did nobody call the police, I think they were all trying to be neighborly and say, okay, someone's having a good time down there. We'll let it happen. But, I interviewed a woman who had bullets coming through her windows across the street as she sat in her living room. So there were bullets flying everywhere that night.
And again, this is a neighborhood that's not used to gunfire at all.
Not at all. We need this to be solved. And I just want to let you know there is going to be an event remembering Cole on Monday from 5 to 7 at the Kroger in Maumee. That is where he worked. He was a very well-loved young man, and so many of his coworkers and friends and family members just want to remember him. If you do happen to go out there and know him, wear green. That was his favorite color. But we do need to get this crime solved.
Amazing. It's been 12 months and nothing's happened. Mel, thanks so much.